Hi, friends. It's Pam Morin, Creative Memories Advisor, and welcome to our December edition of hashtag CM Creative Crew. We are so excited to bring you a new video every day for the next 10 days to help you get those holiday pictures or holiday layouts ready for your holiday pictures. I am so excited to be here with you tonight on the second night. If you missed the first night, be sure and go back over to the playlist and watch the first night last night from Catherine. And then every night, stay tuned for a new video for our Christmas Layout Blitz. And we're just going to jump right into it. So I am going to switch you over to my table. I am using the Joy to the World collection, and there are a couple pieces still available for the Joy to the World collection on my website. You can still get the 2 paper packs, and they each have 12 pieces in them. And the awesome thing is the paper packs are marked down from $10 to $5. So they are half off. So that is a fabulous deal. You can jump on over to my website just by hovering your phone camera over this QR code and clicking on the yellow link that pops up. And grab these deals while they are available because they are going fast. So be sure and get some of your Christmas shopping done out there on the website during this great 60% off sale. All right, so let's get to it. We are going to use some new tools, and these are tools that aren't available to the public yet. They are only available to Creative Memories advisors, and they may look a little familiar to you. These are tools that the old Creative Memories had, and the new Creative Memories brought them back, and they made a new pattern. So I believe the old Creative Memories just had this wavy pattern, but now we have this cool zigzag pattern as well. And these are custom cutting system templates. So you use these with your custom cutting system blades. So you're going to see that here in just a minute. These tools will be available to the public next year, probably in the first quarter of next year. But like I said, they are available to advisors right now. So reach out to your advisor and ask her to snag you one of these awesome templates. All right, so I have put together the left side of my layout so that you can see what we're going to be making. I'm going to move these pieces out of the way here. Just wanted to give you an idea of what we're going to be putting on the layout. But we're going to get all of these pieces off to the side here for a second while we talk about the base of our layout. And I used this beautiful stripe paper. And like I said, this is in the Joy to the World tone on tone paper. And I used the berry paper, which is from the Joy to the World designer paper pack. So I am using pieces from both paper packs in my layout. And you're going to cut a strip of the paper here on the left for the border alongside the edge. You're going to cut this. I cut it at 4 inches, maybe a little bit bigger than 4 inches, but around 4 inches. Whatever however much space you want to leave on the right side. But I did mine at 4 so that I'm going to have room over here for some 4x6 pictures. And then I used gold shimmer, which love that paper pack, for this little piece right here. And I'm going to show you how I made that one. So all you have to do is lay your paper down on your 13-inch mat. And I'm going to go ahead and grab the berry paper. And we're going to lay that down on the mat. I'm going to use the opposite side. This is the side I used for this piece. So I'm going to use the opposite side over here. We're going to cut a piece at 4 inches. And we're going to make this zigzag right here on this edge this time. And you're just going to hook this wonderful tool over the sides of your mat so that it's nice and steady. It's not going to move. It does have a little bit of give, so you do want to make sure that it's straight when you're cutting it, because it does have a little bit of give and it gives a little bit to the left and right, so you don't want it to be crooked. So make sure it's snug up against the bottom of your mat or the top, whichever way you prefer to hold it. And then grab that red blade from your custom cutting system, and we're just going to trim that off. And I'm just going to put the 2 notches down in the track, and I'm going to just eyeball it and make sure I'm over far enough so that I'm not cutting off the side of my paper. I'm just going to push my blade down here, and yep, I'm still on my paper, so I'm far enough over. I just like to test it and make sure that I'm as close as I can be so I'm not wasting any paper. And then you're just going to take the the blade all the way down the track. Oop. And I think I'll have to go over it one more time at the top here. There we go. There we are. So now we have that fun angled cut here on the side of our paper, and we're going to trim this off at 4 inches so that it's the same size as this one. And as you can see, this little piece that came off, that looks just like the gold shimmer that we have over here. And that's exactly right. We are going to do that same cut on our gold shimmer cardstock in order to get that little piece to put in front of our angled cut. All right, and we're going to do that here in just a second. Let's cut this piece at 4 inches. I apologize if my video is not too great tonight. Seems like I'm having some connection issues and it's going in and out of focus. So I apologize for that technical difficulties that I'm having with my connection. All right. So I'm just going to lay this together. I just want to make sure I get it the same size. And I'm just going to use this as a guide here to make my cut. Oh, I think I better turn it the other way. That's going to be helpful. There we go. So I'm just going to use this as a guide to make sure I get them both the same size. Let's see, should be here. Here's the edge of my paper. And here's this piece. Okay, so right about there. And that is on the 4, not up to a 1/4 inch, a little bit over that. So I'm going to try it right there, because if it's a little bit bigger, that's fine. But I do want to make sure, yeah, okay, so we're good. All right, very good. So you decide on where that measurement looks good to you. But like I said, it's about 4 inches wide. Okay, and I'm going to grab the other piece of my striped paper. And this one we're going to lay on this side of the paper. It's up to you. You could lay them both in the center and do this. But let's get this down on the paper and then we'll see which way we like it best. I am definitely a visual person, so I think I'm going to lay it out one way, and then when I get it all put together, sometimes I decide to change it up. It happens. And that's no problem because it's your layout and you should have it however you'd like. However brings you joy is how you should do your layout. Okay. And I like to use the photo tape on these bigger pieces. I just think it's easier to lay them down when I have just the strips of adhesive on the back. I feel like I can lay it down easier and it's not going to get stuck where I don't want it to stick. It's not going to stick down until I peel the backing off. And what I do is I just peel a little piece of the backing off and then fold it out so that I can grab it. And then I get it lined up with my paper, the bottom and the side. Make sure it's lined up all the way down the edge. There we go. And right now, the only piece that's stuck down is this piece, this little corner of our strip of paper. None of the rest of this is stuck down yet. And that's good because that gives us a chance to get it lined up where we want it to be. And then I just put my hand on it, hold on to it, and then pull that backing off. And there we go. And then we just need to pull it off the other side of the strip of paper. And there we go. All right, so now we have the strip of paper with our berries on it down on our back sides of our, on the base pages of our layout. And I'm going to grab my gold shimmer. I just love this color. It is gorgeous and can go with so many different themed layouts. And like I said, we're going to do the same thing. We are going to put our paper down on our 13-inch mat. We're going to get our tool down over the edge of that 13-inch mat. Make sure that it's straight. We're going to take it all the way over to the edge. We're going to take our red blade and just slide it down and make sure it's as far over as it can be. Just like that. And then I'm just going to hold this over here real quick. Let's make sure we get it the same width as the other one. I think that's going to do it. There we go. So we have that fun little, it just reminded me of like a bow on a present. And I think we're good. Yes, we did very good. We got them both about the same size. And like I said, I don't have a measurement really for you on this. Just make sure your blade is as far over as it can go to the edge of your paper so that when you're cutting, it's not coming off the paper. And that's the only way that I measured it. Make sure that it's all the way over. Put the 2 notches down in the track. And then this is the piece that sticks out the farthest. So right here where this piece sticks out, the point here to our angles, this point, put your blade right down in the track and make sure that it's still on the paper. And that's the only way that I can tell you how to measure that. It's a little over, it's almost like 3/4 of an inch, I think, on one side. Let me double check that measurement. Yeah, it's about 3/4 of an inch. So just use a focal point on your mat to make the measurement and do the same thing twice, and then you'll be good. All right. And then we're going to lay this. We're going to adhere this down so that it's very close to the berries. so that we can see the red. There we go. So that you can see the red in between the gold strip and the berry paper. And I'm going to use my repositionable adhesive to put this strip down, because it's just a lot easier for these smaller pieces to run this repositionable all the way down it. And a silicone mat is great for this because the adhesive does not stick to the silicone mat, so you're not going to have any residue. The adhesive does stick to your cutting mat, so you will have residue on it if you use your cutting mat. That's why I like to use the silicone mat. And I guess I just put it a couple ticks away. So use your cutting mat and just put two lines away, 2 lines in between. What are those? 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm going to move this one over a little bit. 1/16 of an inch. So 2/16. So 1/8 of an inch between, 1/8 of an inch between. There we go. And that's how easy that is. So very simple. We've made 2 cuts so far. The cut for our berry paper for the angled cut, and then a second time with the gold shimmer paper, and we're using the piece that we cut off the edge of the gold shimmer paper. And like I said, you can turn this in whatever direction you would like it to be. What is pleasing to your eye? Think about the pictures that you'll take this holiday season and how you would like to lay those out. I think any of these looks really pretty. I love the way this gold is against this red. It is stunning. Okay, so I am going to put mine in this direction because what I have planned is I have some of the mats that I am going to use, but you can cut these pieces from your paper packs. If you don't have the mats, I need to cut that one apart. And then I'm going to take this Joy to the World, and I'm going to cut it in half horizontally between these and put one section of it here and one section on the other side. So I'm going to do that first before I start placing the mats, because I want to see how that looks. And that's going to kind of help me decide on the placement of my mats. And so I think, I'm not sure if the center of this is right down in between these 2 titles. It looks like it. Let's see. So I just gave a little pinch where the center is, just a little cheating there of how to find the center of the paper. And now I'm going to use my sight guide. The black line down the center of your sight guide in the arm of your trimmer will help you see where your blade is going to cut, so that you can line your paper up where you want it. And so right now that black line is hitting that little fold mark that I made, the little pinch that I made in my paper. And so I think this is going to be good because it is the center right in between these 2 words. So there we go. We have Joy to the World. And I think I'm going to lay these together like this. But I want to trim off some of the extra black space around the words. But I'm not going to trim this bottom because I think I want them to be the same width. But I am going to get rid of some of this on each end of the words. I Okay, let's see how that looks. Probably can trim off a little bit more, or I haven't trimmed any. I probably can trim some off the end of this one a little bit. Something like that. Okay, and then I have these mats. We're going to put these out. These are not available anymore, but like I said, if you just want to cut some 4x6 pieces, and I say 4x6, but these are actually 4.5 by 6.5. So if you want to cut some 4.5 by 6.5 pieces, those will fit nicely on the other side of your paper strips. And here's a gold. I thought that would look pretty. That would bring the gold in because the words are in gold. And then I'm going to cut these two apart. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this gold one or not. Let's see. Let's cut these two apart. And I'm going to use that little trick again just to bend it over and give a little pinch right there because that's the center. And then put it in my photo trimmer and cut it right on that pinch. And then we have, okay, so right now all of our pictures are in landscape. So let's do a couple that are in portrait right here. And the picture's going to cover up, I think I'll use those both for pictures, but I could use this one for my journaling. Okay, these are a little off. So I'm going to trim this up just a smidge, see if that doesn't look a little better. Just wasn't even on both sides. Just like a 1/16 of an inch I'm cutting off. A little bit at a time. Okay, but I do want these both in portrait position because these are all in landscape. So I want to have some that are in portrait. Plus I have all of this space over here that I can put pictures to. All right, so let's get a visual of how the pictures are going to look. Let me grab my little placeholder things here just so we can get an idea. This is a 4x6 picture that's going to go in all of these spots. Okay, so it's going to cover up that center white, so you just see the gold, which is really pretty. And then these, oh, I don't even know what size that is. So let me see. It's not that size. These are too big. Let me see. Nope, it's not a 4x4. Possibly a 3x4. Yeah, a little bit big, but you get the idea. I'd have to trim it up just a little bit more. Probably because I trimmed off the sides a little bit. But there we go, a 3x4 picture will fit in both of those at the top. And if I decide to use both of these for pictures, then I can put my journaling somewhere around here. Okay. I'll put these closer here. Let's get the title put down and some of these things adhered so they're not moving around when we are decorating with some more fun decorative items. Okay, so I think the placement is good. Let me get this lined up on my 13-inch mat again, on that 13 square. And right here is 6 inches. So I think, let's see. this should be centered right here. Now, if you don't have these mats, and like I said, they're not available anymore, you can make a title with your Cricut, or if you have any from any other collections, or if you have some sticker letters. Lots of fun ways to make that title there in the center. And I just love doing pieces that go across. I just think the left and right side of your layouts, because I just think that makes it so nice for your eyes to travel across. You know, it flows across the left and the right side of your layout. So it just makes it really nice and cohesive. All right, now I'm going to lay the photo mat, or adhere the photo mats down. Let me find my ruler. I want to show you this tool too. This is a new tool as well, and it works just like the tools we just used to cut the angles. This is to help you lay out your pieces on your page straight. It's got that nice ledge on the top and the bottom, so it hooks over the edge of your mats, and then it gives you that nice straight edge so that you can place your pieces down straight on your paper. So let's take these all off, and we'll start with this one. And just make sure, because this one has a little bit of give too, so just make sure it's straight up against your mat. And I just want to double check my placement here, make sure I have room for this one and how much red is on each side. So I can move this one over a little bit more so that I have the same amount of red on each side. And then just eyeball it top to bottom so that you have the same amount of red on top to bottom. Okay, and then we're going to just slide it over and do the same thing with this other. Got some adhesive on the ruler. I don't need that. Okay. There we go. And just lining it up so that it's even with the one next to it, trying to at least. And you can use the little ruler marks to do that as well, because I can see here that they're at the same point. So I think they're straight and at the same point. And then one more for this 4x6 that we're putting down here at the bottom. I just love our collections because I feel like it's a kit that you get, because everything coordinates and all you have to do is put it together. And it's so easy to coordinate and make your layouts look beautiful with our collections, because there's everything you need to make a beautiful layout in one collection. All right, so I guess I'll go the other way. That would make more sense. I'm going to slide it over this way. And I can line it up with the green one at the top. There we go. All right. So that is how I'm going to lay both sides out. Of course, this one has two 4x6, but same thing. It's going to be lined up just like these photo mats are on this side. one at the top, one at the bottom underneath our title. And then we're going to add some fun flowers because it's not Christmas without some beautiful poinsettias, beautiful flowers right here in the center. And yes, you guessed it. Those of you who watch my videos and subscribe to my YouTube channel, you know what's coming next. The foam squares. I have to have foam squares, something up on foam squares in all of my layouts. I just think it gives it a beautiful look, a fun look, so everything's not flat against the page. There we go. And I use them generously because I want it to be even. I don't want it to be sagging down anywhere. So I think 4 is going to make that stand up and look beautiful. Now, what we could do is that we could move it over just a little bit so that you can see that fun zigzag and kind of fill that space on the other side of our title. Very good. See, something that came along as we were putting this together. As it always does, there's always those things that you think you're going to design it one way, and then when you see it all together, you decide on something else. Now, I also had the laser cut borders, which I recommend to buy 2 packs because then you get 2 of each border. Some of our laser cut borders come with 2 of each, some don't. So be sure and take a look at that, because if you want 2 of them so that you can put one on the left and one on the right side of your layout, you'll need to buy 2 packs if there's only 1 of each per pack. And I thought this fun, it looks like a ribbon to me. Fun ribbon would look fun here and break up some of the berries. I love that. And I'm definitely going to use my repositionable on this because it is a thin piece and it's a delicate piece. So I just want to be able to run my adhesive down it. Now we also have the adhesive that is the liquid adhesive that you can use on these thin pieces, but I find myself using repositionable more because it's just much easier. It's much faster. Okay. And again, I'm just going to make sure my layout's lined up on my mat so that I can use the measurements at the bottom and top to get it lined up straight. So I'm at the 8 and the 4 with my ribbon end. There we go. Awesome. I'm so happy with this layout, and now it is ready for my Christmas pictures. There are so many other things that you can keep doing. If you want to decorate even more, grab one of your shimmer pens and do some fun shimmer on this title to give it some pizzazz. You've got some little sparklies here, so if you have any buttons, I recommend just using buttons. The die cuts did come with the jewels, but they are thicker, and I don't like to use the thicker ones on layouts because they I feel like will leave a dent in the layouts. So I save these for my cards. But if you have any buttons that are flat, that are sparkly, that would look great here as well. Or, you know, we've got the gold shimmer. We have room under here, so you could put another decoration here with the gold shimmer. That would tie it all in. All right. Well, thank you, ladies. I'm going to jump back over here to say good night. There we go. I hope you enjoyed that layout. I like to do some fun and simple scrapbooking so that you have plenty of room for all of those great pictures that you're going to be taking over the holidays, and so that it's fun and fast and beautiful when you coordinate all of these pieces together. I look forward to our next collaboration next month and another video with the hashtag CM Creative Crew. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season and a joyful and healthy new year. Good night.